Okay, so hello everyone. Thank you very much for making time to be part of what will be one of many workshops. This one is geared towards supporting businesses to take advantage of the Desjardins Goodspark grant, which expires on Sunday, 3rd of December. We have a 2-hour session today. The first hour will be dedicated towards Desjardins, and we have Jeffrey Gregory, who will be taking us on that. Jeff is a very experienced financial planner who's affiliated with Desjardins, and he's had a very good success record that he's at liberty to share. And then in the second half of this, which starts from 8 to 9, we would have a lady who's poised and ready. She runs a number of organizations, and she's done successfully, set up these applications, and we have the fortune of having her. In her case, she does this for a fee, but she's been magnanimous enough to accommodate us. And so for the period of this 1-hour session, it will be free. But if we don't pick it up, I'm sorry, you will have to follow, and I make no guarantee. So I'm just telling you that in advance. But then she will be taking us, and then she's also very ready to support. She's very passionate about the Black community, and I believe she's probably on the call. So Adejisola, you're welcome to the call, to the meeting. Adejisola is also known as Lady Abba.
Good evening. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, so over to you, Jeff.
Thank you, Manuel. Much appreciated. And as well, just want to acknowledge as well, Carol and Evan on the call. They work, we're all the same team here at Desjardins. Some quick background. To myself, I've been in the financial services industry for 25 years. Designation CFP, CLU. I don't like going to seminars and eating stuffy sandwiches. I keep getting letters at the end of my name. But what effectively we do is we help a lot of individuals, families, and businesses with wealth development, risk management, insurances, and so forth to take advantage and understand with tax strategying and so forth. However, why I am being asked to talk and go through a bit of the Goodspark program, Desjardins during the COVID crisis came out with this program trying to help a lot of small businesses that were really kind of struggling and shut down or near bankruptcy, and they had innovation. They needed to change their business model, and that's those that kind of survived. They changed their business model. I think of Uber Eats became incredibly successful as a result of COVID, due to a lot of restaurants then finding a way to do takeout, and bakeries that had to innovate with different types of ovens or so forth to attract gluten and ensure that you don't have gluten issues. There was many different innovative ways. So the first rendition of this a couple of years ago did about 100 companies, 100 businesses that got $10,000 of grants. The second year when they did this, realizing it's really good, then for another 100 companies within Canada, but they upped the ante to 20,000 per business. And because they've had such a great success, now they're offering it to 150 businesses across Canada at 20,000 each. So every year we're getting a little bit more. So, I always kind of look at this and go, if we'll try to get this done, but let's make sure even for next year, for your businesses and so forth, since this is coming in every year, we want to try and take advantage and let businesses know that Desjardins is willing to help businesses put some money into their innovation, their sustainability, their health and wellness sense, their community involvement with their business, innovation to become bigger and better. So unfortunately, this is coming due on Sunday. So what I'm going to do, if that's okay with everybody, is kind of put up on the screen here and share really how simple the grant application is. Where Evan, Carol, and I come in. So I've been fortunate to give away 6 of these grants during and leading the country effectively with that, primarily in the first year, helping a lot of businesses to promote their business and what the money would do and so forth. The reason why we've been really successful in helping businesses this way is because what I have found, Evan and Carol has found, is that business owners tend to be very humble. So when they're making the application about what they want to do, they don't actually tell the story as well as it really truly is. They're afraid to let that expression go, and it might seem greedy or anything like that. We're here to diffuse that. We want to help eliminate the humility to make this story that much greater and that what it's supposed to be, so the opportunity to get the grant becomes a reality. Okay. Typically what we ask is you are more than welcome to do the grant on your own and send it away. But if you want us to review it, we can review it, take a look, make some edits, have a conversation, and get that out. What does that do for us? As well with Desjardins, it's an opportunity to have introductions to business owners like yourselves to ensure that even within the financial planning and the risk management of you and your business and your family is being done correctly. So that's pretty much it. There's not a sales job. There's not an angle to it. There's nothing like that. Really, we just want to either come January, February, give away the small check or the big check, whatever marketing pictures we want to do. Do not try to put that big check through an ATM. It does not fit. Not that we've tried, but I'm going to assume it won't stuff in. But the idea is to get that. And when it gets to your business, that grant, there is no requirement or allocation necessary to know where it goes. You got the grant. It's $20,000 free money to your corporation. Do what you need to do with the whole purpose that it's meant to make your business to that next level. Any questions before I go on? We're good. Beautiful. Periodically, you also see me in the chat. I'll do it one more time, putting in the link to the grant. And what I'll do is I'll bring it up on here on a share. Evan and Carol, if you do have anything that I'm missing, feel free to jump in. I know you're not shy. Actually, I apologize, Manuel. Can you enable the sharing ability for me? I apologize. I should ask that.
You have it now.
Thank you, sir. That I do. Okay. Now, everyone can see the screen here. I'm just seeing if I can get rid of that. We could see the Desjardins Grant app clearly, I hope, because I can't see everyone else anymore. You've all disappeared off the screen. Thank you. So here's what the eligibility of the grant is. You have to be a Canadian-owned, operated corporation, okay? In that sense, you cannot have your headquarters in Quebec. Every other province counts, but Desjardins is really trying to make an impression to the rest of Canada. With that, in Quebec, they have about 85% infiltration of financial services in that province, but outside of that, I think they're less than 5%. You have to have a minimum of one employee, which also does count as a part-time employee as well. It could be the business owner if you are T4ing yourself at the same time. You have to be registered for at least 1 year, and you have to have a project that reflects in some form of sustainable development, health and well-being, innovation, and community impact. Effectively, what that means in the sustainable development, you're doing something that promotes a responsible production or consumption, clean utilization, improved, you're trying to get away from diesel and go to electric, along those lines within your business. Something that might promote health and well-being. One of the receivers of the grant was a bee farm that helps with pollination to enhance that we can have a more greener society. Something that is innovative. You're really trying to put the technology back into your business, and that was needed. So one of the companies that got the grant from myself, they used it through innovation because they had to upgrade their software and their systems to be able to get their quotes and everything out to their clients a lot faster and a lot more efficient, which helped their bottom line. It eliminated delay. And also, if there's anything that does some community impact, something that will create a better incentive. One of the grant recipients was a company that helped a lot of disabled individuals rehab themselves, but rehab themselves through different type of physical activities. outside the basic physiotherapy concepts. So that's how they innovated themselves that way. So for yourself as a business owner, you might be wondering, where do I apply and so forth? If you're not sure in those categories, that's where we're here to help categorize the right area, because it could be more than one. It could be 2 or 3 of these scenarios as well. So then when you get into the grant, so, after you've done that, really it's just click apply now, right there. Your first name and last name, the language you would prefer to receive it, English or French. And if you are getting this in French, they will immediately switch the form to French right then and there. Your business name, and try not to, it might be a numbered company or something, but most time the businesses have a business name. The business address, very straightforward, your contact information. If you have a website, any of your social media. So if you do have a Facebook business page, a LinkedIn page for your business, do add it, because it helps with the promotion and the marketing as well for yourself. You have to have your BIN number. So it's very important that before you make the application, if you don't know your BIN number, just pop onto CRA really quick with your logins, the number of employees, and how long you've been in operation. If you've been a member of, or if you are a client of Desjardins or not, yes or no. And in here, if this is where we usually ask, put Evan's name, Carol's name, my name. If you don't put a name in there and you're the recipient, you're going to get probably contacted by somebody in Desjardins to see and to see what you might have an interest in and so forth, and then how you heard about the grant. Here's the part that matters. So in 30 characters, please tell us about your business history, the managers, your ties to community, and be, this is a good time to brag. How long you've been in business, what's made you unique, the story of rising from the ashes to be the phoenix that you are. You really want to give good detail, but you still want to do it within a very tight, compact area of 3,000 characters. So impact words are very helpful here. If for a lot of business owners, writing this stuff, they're really good at their business, but they have struggle in trying to describe themselves this way. This is really why the 3 of us are on the call here tonight from Desjardins to assist with this. The second one is, what is the main business challenge you're currently facing? What would, I guess, in the sustainability or the innovation or the health and wealth, where are you finding your challenges that are not letting you get to that next level? What within the business, not able to get supplies, perhaps, that would allow you to get into different distribution networks? That could be something of a bit of a challenge. For one, it was one of the recipients was a dance school, and they had to change their model to be more video effective and to have better video setups within their dance studio, when some of the students were still hesitant and are still hesitant to come into the school, that they can still get their education and their dance training, just not within those confines of a typical dance studio. So what are those challenges? And please do not make the challenge economically. Times are tough. I need to keep the lights on or pay the rent. That's not what this is meant to do. This is meant to help get your business to another level, something you've always wanted to get into and haven't been able to, and $20,000 can make a difference to get to that second stage, third, fourth, fifth stage of your business. So again, do that within 3,000 characters. And the last is, this is what the $20,000 would do. What do you have in mind if you get it? What is the time frame you can see yourself putting it into action? Just because you got the grant money doesn't mean that you'd be putting it right into action right away, with if it was buying technology and restructuring a few things. But they really want, this is where I think the grants are approved in this section. This is the key part. The rest of it is a good story, but tell them exactly, with as much good detail in that amount of characters, what exactly and how you plan to implement why you want the 20. Okay. The more detail, the clearer the picture, the more likely but the grants could happen. And that's what I found the difference was when being able to get grants for other businesses during that period, was we were able to having that clear definition of what the funding would effectively do to help their business. It won't solve the solution for everybody, but it helps start the ball rolling. And even with that worked. So again, to use a dance studio, the amount of video technology that needed to be done, that was only going to do about half of what they needed, but at least they didn't need to come up with the whole funding for themselves. They had some reserves they were able to do, but at least this took away from what the company had to find and take away from their retained or so forth, and run the risk of not doing payrolls or anything like that. So that kind of description is very, very essential and probably the art of the grant. Going through those three parts, is there any questions so far? Perfect. So the last part after you've done that, and take the time to fill this in, don't rush it through. This is not what I'll call, if you want to get the grant to be serious about it, you can't do this in 2 sentences. Again, we stress this is due on Sunday at midnight. So if you wanted to take a little time on the weekend, if you had to spend an hour and pre-plan that, and you get the grant to 20,000, that's a pretty good hourly rate, I think, to make that $20,000 an hour. Not too bad. Once you've done that, you want to check off which aspect, and it can be more, that the grant would be applicable to. The sustainable development, the health and well-being, the community impact. And again, it can be more than one. This also, if you are selected for the grant, did you want to receive any consultation or have some questions in certain areas, such as Group 1, investments, financial planning? This is what we do within Desjardins. Evan, Carol, and I, we are the financial planning, tax planning, estate, investment, business structure part of that. Group 2 deals with commercial, auto. Even though it says life, disability, health, critical illness, we also deal with that. But you'll see this a little bit more with the old State Farm folk, the Desjardins insurance people. Then with Group 3, they also do have merchant services at Desjardins, which if anyone is interested in, can also help set some contacts. And when it comes to merchant servicing, it's more of at-point sale situations, payroll. They do have a fantastic payroll system that is, I find, a little bit easier than Meridian, who I used to use for my own payroll services. And then, of course, if you are needing group insurance or group retirement services, us on the call are able to do that as well. But as well, from a corporate entity, Desjardins has some very good pension, group RSPs, deferred profit sharing strategies, and even drug and dental plans for groups of 1, for individual business owners. Or, of course, you could not be interested for a consultation, and we will not bug you. We're not, this grant application process is not meant to be something that is a hound the business owner. It's meant to bring to light what we do here at Desjardins, because it is not very well known in the community, to the business community, and as well to the business owner to receive. We have no intentions of spamming you at any point. The reason for having one of our names in the beginning is that if you do choose any of these things, it would be only Evan, myself, or Carol that would contact you to get more information out to you that you may have an interest in. Once you've read the rules and regulations, and it basically goes back to the rules in the beginning, as we talked about, feel free to read it, but the Goodspark program is filling that criterion. You are a business owner. You're the one who has the signing authority. You have the ability to do all that stuff as the principal interest of the business. That's pretty much it. There will be a media release, like hopefully you're not shy. If you win the grant, we're going to want your smiling face up on Facebook and LinkedIn's and whatever other social media platforms are out there. I am not the guy who will talk about social media platforms. I apologize. Twitter or X or whatever they want to call it next. So it kind of gives you an outline of some of those criteria, but really it's where I want to focus here is the application period does end at midnight Sunday. So when you receive the grant, what would happen? And sorry, let me get back to, why won't this move out of the way for me? There we go. There we go. So when you receive the grant, what happens is Desjardins representative contacts you, congratulates you. We wait for the check to be received. And that's helpful when our name's on it because it comes to our office to do the delivery, set a time, usually at ASAP. Have the check, probably have a bit of a photo op to help with the marketing as well from yourself as the business owner. That $20,000 though, which will be made out to the name of the business, is effectively free money. There is no taxable implication. There is no follow-up or reporting afterwards of what you've put the money into or anything like that. You've received the grant. We're done at that point. So there's no other surprise follow-ups or reports or anything that has to happen. That's what makes this grant a little bit different than a lot of other grants that you might come across. Is congratulations, your story is really good. We like what you're trying to do. Here's the money. Don't forget us when we want to say hi. That's pretty much where we end. Hopefully it's an opportunity from us on the Desjardins side to continue working with you to help growing your businesses, short-term, long-term, legacy, strategying, and so forth. That is the grant. It's that simple. The application is simple, but I think it's the way that the 20,000 can impact your business that is going to take the longest part to ensure that you give the best story forward. If you don't think that you'll be ready by Sunday, things are up and we're just seeing this here on a Friday night. What we do recommend as well is to reach out and contact one of the three of us, because what we want to do for a lot of business owners is prepare for next year's grant application as well. As I mentioned very early on, one of the challenges we have is it's only a 3-week window every year. And we tend to get occupied within our own daily jobs that we have to do. And we want to make sure that it's not forgotten even for next year to make that application. Any questions?
Yes, I have one, which is, can the 3-week window be influenced in any way? Is there a reason why it's just limited to 3 weeks for the full exercise that way? Are there other grants, for instance, that Desjardins is involved in, and therefore that's why they're limited to 3 weeks?
I'm not too sure why they did 3 weeks. Like, I think when they originally did this, they didn't really know how impactful or the reception they were going to get from the business community and the advisors to help with this. In the beginning, it was pretty straightforward. Last year, I think they had about 700-800 grant applications. So they got quite a few, more than they expected. So the 3-week window is probably designed to go, if we extend that out, there are more people we got to go through, and it takes longer to get the money to the businesses, to be fair to the whole process. Just from 1 or 2 people that were on the grant selection committee that mentioned and brought that up last year, was they go through each application one by one. 800 takes a while. If it was 1,800, that money might not be received until June as a result.
Okay, so I have a question, and my question is, considering that this is Friday night, then Saturday is weekend, Sunday is weekend, so if there are people here who would like to, proceed with this grant, is there any way for them to reach out to you for some kind of review, considering it's weekend?
Yes. So what the 4 of us have, the 3 of us, sorry, and I'm trying to get my screen a little bit bigger here so I can see if I can unshare. That might help a little. Stop sharing. There we go. So we're going to be available. I'm going to put my email, my information in here as well. I'm going to ask Evan and Carol that if you do need to reach out to us, and let's say you've put the paragraphs in order, email and call us, text us, or whatever. And we know that this is going to be a tight weekend. We're here to help. We're going to try to help get that in before Sunday for everyone. Well, if you do reach out to us, as long as it's not 10 o'clock on Sunday, that could be a little tough, to be fair. But over Friday, Saturday, even Sunday during the day, we will do, thank you, Evan, for doing that. I'm going to put mine in here as well. And my cellular number, because that'll be easier, that even if you take a text me, that you've emailed me, whatever your grant stuff at this point is, then I can follow up and know that I've received that email. And, just to say, get back to you in about an hour or 30 minutes if I'm preoccupied. But we know that this is very time sensitive and we don't want to miss that opportunity for you. I hope that helps.
Yes, thank you.
Certainly.
Oh, there's a hand that is raised up. Chinenye, can you please go on?
Yeah, good evening. Thank you so much, Emmanuel, for inviting me, and Jeffrey. So let me get clear. It's once an organization meets the criteria, it applies for $20,000, right?
20,000, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Per business, right?
Yeah, per business. So what, let's say you had 3 different businesses. Each business is its own business that can apply for that grant as well.
Okay.
Now, they may see your name 3 times. No, I can't guarantee you win 3 grants. But if one of the businesses gets it, then fantastic. I think if you receive that grant, you'd have a great conversation with your accountant at that point to go, hey, we got $20,000 to figure out what we're going to do for the business into 2024 and 2025. But if you do have more than one business and you fit that criterion, you could do another grant application.
Okay. Thank you.
My pleasure. So, as you can see, it's really not designed to be an overcomplicated. There isn't any specific criterion that I say will favor one over the other. It really is just ensuring that what $20,000 would do to your business that would really make it impactful to make it a stronger business, whether it be infrastructuring, innovation, something that you've thought your business needs, that money is there, and we want to do our best to try to help you get it. And I didn't get an hour because I didn't think it was going to take an hour to probably go through that, to be fair.
Do we want to, we're okay to, if it's okay, can we please show our cameras at least so that Jeff can see who it is? I'm guessing, is there any benefit in sharing maybe 1 or 2 success stories, how you've been able to support people? Is that
Sure.
something you or maybe Carol or somebody wants to talk about? Just let people know that this is for real, because one of the key strengths of this is that you've done this in our previous discussions, you've done this successfully in the past. And we can trust that this is not just an exercise in futility. The onus is on the individual to fill the information, but with your support, we believe that the chances of success will be much higher.
One of my favorite ones was it's a little more dear to my heart. So it was an autistic daycare. And my daughter being autistic, I have to admit, if there was one that really kind of got me doing this one tugged at more of the heartstrings. But because of things of COVID and not a lot of the kids being able to come back, and they need that social interaction. For children with autism, if you haven't had the experience and the joy of being around children with autism, as my wife and I say, we have 5 other kids, so 6 in total. I'm a really good financial planner, but I really suck at family planning, by the way. But what we did is we took the book of parenting, we rip it all up, because that's how autism works. And to ensure that these children were able to still have a social network through the daycare, not even just school, but just the autistic style daycare, they had a lot of video and putting up those kind of programs that they were getting, but they had to do it from this. Like, alone from all of us, we know how tough it is not to be around each other. We get more energy and an impact when we're sitting together, telling these stories and sharing it and feeling it. And video has always created a barrier of true sense of feeling, in my opinion. What this was able to do was to ensure when they got the grant that money was able to get those programs to those children that needed it, and the interaction as best they could with those kids who they've seen and then they couldn't anymore. So if that's an example of one I can give you that I was very, very pleased about.
Thank you. Thank you. We have another person, Adejisola. Please ask your question.
Good evening again.
Good evening.
I just wanted to say thank you so much for sharing this information. One, this is the first time I'm hearing about it. So absolutely. And I'm sure that there's so many other people that are not aware. I believe in, information being power. If people have the right information, we'll allow them to make informed decisions. And we know that we have a lot of small businesses in our community that do need help when it comes to funding. And so every little bit matters. So I just want to say thank you seriously for making time to talk to us. And since it's been recorded, I'm sure a few more people will be able to see it. And maybe if not leverage it this year, they'll be able to leverage it next year. So thank you so much.
My pleasure. And I think we should take an onus of apologizing for not letting more people know about this before even this call. It's a great secret that we haven't promoted well enough, and looking forward to opportunities like this to continue that. And it's hard to get funding. Like if you go to a bank or BDC, the interest rates are higher, the qualifications are much more challenging now to get some form of assistance as a small business owner, because all the liability is back on you as a business owner in that sense. And it makes it even more stressful. You're putting more impact on your family and risking. And the greatest joy of being a business owner is taking that risk and taking that leap to be more successful. But at the same time, the system shouldn't make it harder. I understand that the whole world is meant to be profitable and so forth, but there's not enough projects like this that we all probably share enough. The government keeps enough of these grant secrets. I wish that was communicated better than what it is. And then we did the same thing. So this is the start of ensuring that we can continue this education opportunity. And hopefully we get an opportunity as well, Manuel, to do a video like this where I'm talking about, hey, look at the checks we gave away just in this community.
Definitely. I look forward to that. I'm just thinking that maybe should we give Carol an opportunity to just add to what you've been saying, Carol?
Yes, I'm happy to be quiet for a few minutes. So, Carol.
Don't have too much to say. Jeff has had some really great experiences with this grant and providing some great financial opportunities for his business owner clients. I do think that this is something that is just, it's free money. And it's just something that if you do have the opportunity to take the time prior to Sunday to fill out the application and follow the guidelines that Jeff just went through, where he talked about the if there's a sustainability aspect to your business, or if there's a community aspect, these are very strong characteristics of a business that are going to make the grant being given favorable. So I think paying attention to things like that, and as Jeff said, it's not the answer to keeping the lights on, but definitely it's something that if your business has that community initiative and has some type of program that is definitely helping to build the community society and add to sustainable issues and things like that, then that you're in a good position to receive some funding. So I think everybody should try it. And also we are available to provide some support across the weekend if anyone is going to take the challenge to fill out the form in this short space of time, like totally.
And to toot Carol's horn, because I know when I talk about humility in the business owner, she will be an excellent example of this. And I know she'll get mad at me for bringing that up, but she is pretty much one of Canada's leading experts in responsible investing. So if sustainability and responsible, she has been in the media and so forth quite often, and her expertise in the world of responsible investing in the education and helping individuals take advantage of it is phenomenal. When it comes to something like this, she does know what she's speaking about when it comes to creating your business to be more responsible, more ESG. If that's something of an interest that you'd like to see with your business going forward, she does have a lot of that great expertise and knowledge that can also be passed on and assisted with. And I'm not letting you stay humble, Carol.
Excellent. Thanks. Thank you for shedding more light on what Carol is able to do, and we'll remember that.
Thank you.
So,
all right. Yeah.
Sir, go ahead. So
any more questions from anybody? We've had a couple of people join, and we just want to ensure that we have asked all the right questions here. This is a recorded session, so if you did come in late, you can always watch it. But this is a wonderful opportunity. 20K on the table. If you can just push yourself a little bit, you might just be one of those lucky people. Do we know how many people get this in all? How many people are eligible?
150 businesses across Canada will get the grant.
Across Canada, okay.
Yeah. So it's not an Ontario thing, but the good thing about this as well, where I have found is a lot of the business owners don't have somebody within Desjardins helping them with the grant. So a lot of the grant applications are not well
written.
Yeah, that's probably they're too humble, they're too quick, they think it's something quick to do, and that's not going to be effective or increase their chances of getting this. So from what I have been told in the past, of the grant applications, 60% usually are really weak. So you're competing against 40% of the businesses that are trying to get the grant at that time.
Can we pick your brains a bit to see some sort of scoring criteria? Are we able to get some, cheat sheet just to help us because of the time? I'm just asking, you never know.
Yeah, no, that's a fair question. And that's something that we don't have.
This is more about, sorry to cut you, but this is more about from your success stories, not even what Desjardins is making available, but what in your view has worked in terms of which, because you've done many applications. So which of these would probably be a reference that you want us to remember for this?
The best reference I can give is that last section when it says, what would that 20,000 go to? What kind of impact or what kind of activity would you put it into? So I'll use the autism school. They said it was going to go into autistic programs to help. And what I said was, you have to get more defined into the programs themselves. What will this program effectively do to help the children? This program will ensure that their social interaction maintains by doing the activities that were done here. That a little bit extra more into the definition of how that grant will be utilized to make that impact. those are the ones that got the grants from in my past. Those that had the best stories were nice, but they never said what they were going to do. And when you're giving out money, you want to make sure that you're not just giving it out to, to people who are having just a good story about their business. You want something that's going to have a success that Desjardins can use and go in a national marketing sense. We gave this person $20,000. 2-3 years later, they turned their business to a $10 million operation. We were the start, because we knew that $20,000 was going to go into convection ovens that ensured that there was never a cross-contamination of nut allergies. So they can actually, promote and sell more baked goods that were for sure there was no nut cross-contamination with that, which helps their sales in the end and ensures that, people don't get sick. People are looking in this environment. Allergy with children is, I can't believe how many children have allergies. From when I was a kid, it never happened. Which I know, Evan, it wasn't stone tablet. We had pen. I'm not that old. But when you can promote something like that, and they had the vision of going, we want to have some form of product that is either gluten-free, nut-free was their big focus, because one of their children had nut allergies. And as a bakery, you run across pecans on the floor at times. So that helped their business, added the bottom line. They've done good promotion, and they've been able to make a bigger impact in the community, not just their bottom line, but the community, to ensure that children can enjoy baked goods, muffins and donuts and custards like every other one of their friends, even though they had something that technically could kill them, and it was now prevented. So really define what you do with that $20,000, and the impact that $20,000 would do to you, the business owner, but also to that sustainability or helping health or whatever that criterion would be. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you very much. It's worth the try. I have another person, Adibola Fadikwe. Please go ahead.
Okay, so good evening, Mr. Emmanuel.
Good evening, sir.
Thank you very much for organizing this event. Honestly, I'm truly impressed. So for now, I really don't have a business, but I will appreciate, immediately after this meeting, just like you rightly promised, that you share the recorded video so that I can share it to at least 2 people that I know, that runs a business, that this will definitely, help, improve and grow their business.
All right. You're very kind. We will do the needful.
Thank you.
I was going to mention one more thing that Jeff was being humble about, and that is he said that those grants that were awarded would be shared on social media, but I remember drinking coffee and watching one of our recipients on national television. So it's going to be televised nationally as well. So that's kind of cool for the business marketing and obviously Desjardins as well. But you'll be on television. Receiving the check being received will be shown on TV. So that's kind of cool.
All right. That's good. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. It's ours to lose, right? We have 2 days. 2 days to crack it.
Lots of time.
Yeah, lots of time. And thanks for sharing. I was just going to say, could you share again? You've just shared it probably for the 9th time in this meeting. So whoever came in afterwards, please check the chat section and pick the link to the application. All right.
Excellent.
I think we're pretty good on this. If there's no other question, what I'll do is I will stop the recording and then start the recording again. Why? Because we want to have 2 separate videos. We want people to be able to, cut to the chase real quick and take advantage of it.
And just, I think on behalf of the team here, thank you everyone for attending this evening. Hopefully this was something helpful, and do hope that we did get a chance to speak with a few of you through the weekend.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Jeff. Nice to see you again. I just wanted to show my camera to show you that I'm here supporting.
Thank you very much. Much appreciated. Good to see you again.
Awesome.
Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to stop recording.